yourself and each other. Good night.
This program lineup is brought to you by Vision Express.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. New Jeep Gladiators up to $7,000 off now at Cars Plus. Named the best vehicle for adventure in 2024. Get your Jeep Gladiator today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
A body discovered in a Jigo home has authorities investigating the death of yet another resident. The second case just this week alone. KUAM speaking to residents along Chalandonit Street who remain stunned over the incident that unfolded in their neighborhood.
Plus, the worst of the storm is over, but it's not clear skies just yet. Weather officials say windy and wet conditions is expected to persist through this week.
Multiple CNMI government agencies literally picking up the pieces of our history, sifting through artifacts that have been in storage for over a decade. I'm Tomas Malonio with a full story coming up tonight.
Half day and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Thanks so much for making this a part of your day.
And Des, what a wet and windy day it has been the last 24 hours. How did you sleep last night?
I actually slept peacefully, thankfully, but I did wake up early this morning and there was wind whipping against my shutters. It was also a really rainy day, of course.
Yeah, I was up trying to cover it as much as possible so our viewers could get the latest on our social media platforms as well, but you can still hear the wind whipping even to tonight. That monsoonal effect. We'll have more on what the weather is going to be like for the rest of the week later in the show. Meantime, your top story tonight, one person is dead after an apparent attack in Jigo, but the circumstances surrounding his death remain a mystery.
Guam police detectives have their hands full as this is the second suspicious death they are called into less than 2 days.
A Jigo neighborhood on Chalandonit Street is rocked Wednesday morning. Residents waking up to an active crime scene right outside their front doors.
It's kind of scary that it happened 150 feet from my house.
Neighbors watched in shock as first responders with the Guam Fire Department removed a body from the home. KUAM learning the unnamed victim, a man, was apparently beaten to death. The disturbing news hitting hard for one couple, both unaware of the details of the incident unfolding in their midst as they hunkered down during the heavy winds and rain overnight.
Very shocking because this island is just becoming more and more crazy. I feel like there's a lot of dead bodies that they're finding all over the island now. But for one to be found right across from us, I don't even know what else to say.
The death investigation comes less than 48 hours after detectives were at another crime scene about 14 minutes away in Dededo on Chalancareta. As KUAM reported, local authorities are looking into the death of a Dededo man. His identity also has not yet been released. His body was found in a burning home late Monday afternoon. No word if detectives are closer to solving that case. Meantime, several neighbors along the Jigo Street tell KUAM that they have no idea who the man could be. Still others shared they witnessed heavy foot traffic in and out of the house.
I've never seen him, never spoke to him. There's kids that walk up and down when it was abandoned. There was music playing over there at night, no lights. So it would catch our attention sometimes, but like I said, we keep to ourselves.
It's a chilling incident that has these residents even more closed off and guarded.
It's a real eye-opener for me and her because we were considering putting security cameras here. I work in the evening as well, and I don't like leaving my wife home alone.
Similarly, no word if police have any potential suspects. Guam Police spokesperson Officer Berlin Savella only saying officers continue to collect evidence, adding they are still in the early stages of investigation.
Well, that's what an incredible time for investigators there, and they haven't said if they're asking the community for help just yet.
Not just yet. Again, they are in the preliminary stages of collecting evidence and finding those facts.
All right, good luck to investigators on that case.
And in other news, the worst is over as Tropical Storm Babinka downgrades to a depression and steadily moves away from the Marianas. Great, right?
Yeah.
The governor also declaring condition of readiness 4 at 2 p.m. today as tropical storm warnings are canceled.
Well, students are back to school tomorrow. You heard that right, kids. Still, that does not mean clear and sunny skies just yet. Mitsuki Hirayama reports.
The impacts of the low-end tropical storm Babinka felt overnight. Strong winds shaking trees and heavy rain flooding roadways.
Some of our rain gauges picked up between 3 and 4 inches, and that was with the heaviest showers that was falling over southern and central Guam early this morning.
The island waking up to find peak conditions have passed by Wednesday morning. The governor's communications director, Crystal Paco San Augustine, says there were no major damages reported.
Our teams from the DPW crews were already positioned at the sites where we knew that there was flooding, those flood-prone areas, and so they were able to support flood mitigation and make those roads passable this morning, especially as Core 3 does need GovGuam reports to work.
The governor declaring condition of readiness 4 by 2 in the afternoon as Babinka downgrades into a depression. Babinka is now steadily moving away from Guam and deeper into the Philippine Sea, tracking towards Okinawa and Japan's southwest islands. But National Weather Service meteorologist Landon Idlet says it's not all clear just yet.
We are watching this monsoon just funnel in from Palau across the Yap State and right up into this tropical storm Babinka. That's going to be the trend for the next several days as Babinka remains kind of in our vicinity, but to the west.
He says expect windy and wet conditions to persist throughout the rest of the week as the monsoon surge hits. A high surf advisory, wind advisory, small craft advisory, and flood watch remains in effect.
Not a good time to be out in the water, not a good time to be out in a boat because the seas and the winds will be elevated through much of the week.
Meantime, with last year's Typhoon Mawar still fresh in the community's minds, Paco San Augustine reflects on how that impacted preparations with this storm.
I think the people of Guam were really much better prepared this time around. They dusted off their radios. They knew where they were. They had the batteries. They were heading to the gas station to fill up their tanks, washing that laundry, filling up those water gallons to prepare themselves to bunker down if needed for several days at a time.
Up at Anderson Air Force Base, the Brigadier General also noting their gas temporarily ran out as military families gassed up in preparation. He notes no fuel will be available at least for a day or two as they wait for the next delivery. And in the next village over, 11 families also preparing for the worst, seeking shelter at Maria Ulloa Elementary School.
That breakdown is 28 adults, 24 children, and that totaled 52 people. So that was 11 families. The 52 people represented 11 families. So we thank them for seeking shelter and, of course, taking caution and heeding to the warnings. Again, condition of readiness 3 with tropical storm damaging winds is what we were expecting overnight.
With September coincidentally being National Preparedness Month, she says it was great practice for the community to prepare for disasters. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Thanks, Suki. Well, as wind and rain pushed through the Marianas today, public schools in the CNMI were canceled and some inter-island flights were also suspended. The CNMI public school system announced class cancellations just after 4 a.m. today out of an abundance of caution as the CNMI remained in tropical storm condition 3.
Meanwhile, Star Mariana is announcing the cancellation of all flights to Rota and Guam today due to tropical storm conditions. The airline also canceling flights between Saipan and Tinian this morning as operations remain limited and the storm leaves the region. The NMI Museum, along with various government agencies, is taking on a huge project, sifting through hundreds of artifacts that were put into storage more than a decade ago. Organizers hope they can preserve history piece by piece.
Regional correspondent Tomas Mangotnia reports.
Multiple CNMI government agencies literally picking up the pieces of our history, sifting through artifacts that have been in storage for over a decade. As the storm passes through the Marianas, these people are hard at work outside of the NMI Museum, ensuring that Chamorro and Carolinian history is not washed away. Leonard Leon is the museum's new executive director.
Over the past 2 weeks, a collaboration between multiple agencies such as the Mayor's Office, Department of Corrections, the NMI Museum, HPO, the Women's Affairs Office, Indigenous Affairs Office, and the Carolinian Affairs Office have been, just kind of shaving off box, one area at a time. So we've actually made some pretty good effort. Our goal is to get this done by the end of the week if we can, and just finally properly store the artifacts within the museum's space.
They're leaving no stone unturned. Many of the documents have been eaten away by termites, but they're hard at work to ensure that no more pieces of history and cultural identity are lost.
We still have to dig into to find out where they all come from. They've been stored here for about 13 years. They were placed here on May 2011 and this was done because the museum ran out of space for storage.
He said they don't want to overlook anything that could possibly help us better understand our history and identity. It's a delicate process.
A lot of them deserve to be reinterred. If there are no research need for them or educational need for them, then we should respectfully reinter them into the ground. Give them some rest.
Tomas Manglona, KUAM News, Saipan.
Up next, the candidates for President of the United States face off in a debate.
And the latest round of mayoral candidates discuss the issues on the Hub. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Welcome back to Primetime. After days of preparation, weeks of campaigning, and a slew of polls, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump hold their first and perhaps only presidential debate earlier today.
Polls show an extremely tight race, making today's debate even more important to undecided voters. NBC's Alice Bohr has the details from Philadelphia.
Kamala Harris.
Tonight, a presidential pivot point. Former President Trump and Vice President Harris shaking hands in their first ever meeting, sparring over key issues, none more pressing than the economy.
We've had a terrible economy because we have inflation like very few people have ever seen before.
The vice president pressed on her changing policy position since her 2019 run for the White House.
My values have not changed. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States.
The former president pushing back on his legal troubles and on accepting the election results.
I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me.
Former President Trump on the attack over immigration and the border.
They have, and she has, destroyed our country with policy that's insane.
Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress and said, kill the bill. He'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
Vice President Harris blaming Mr. Trump for restrictions on reproductive rights. Questions on his shifting stance.
Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended.
The gloves coming off tonight.
Well, I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted.
She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success.
In a debate that could reshape the race for the White House.
The nominees also sparred over foreign policy, with former President Trump arguing he could negotiate from a position of strength to end conflicts, particularly in Ukraine. Vice President Harris firing back that he would only end that war by allowing Russia to win. In Philadelphia, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Well, we've got another round of candidates set to appear on the Hub tonight. Candidates from 2 contested races are taking your questions. These include mayoral candidates from Jatnya Debbie Lujan and Brian B.J. Terlahi. Also confirmed to attend from the village of Hoggett is candidate Mark Charfris. Incumbent Kevin Siswico was unable to attend. Out of the village of Dededo, mayoral candidate Elena Garcia joined us as well. Her opponent Peter Beneventi expected to speak to voters later this month. A new episode of The Hub airs tonight following primetime. Politicians down under are looking to ban young children from using social media. Australia will become one of the first countries in the world to impose age restrictions for platforms like TikTok and Instagram. CBS's Tina Cross has the story.
Australia's Prime Minister says there's nothing social about social media, and his government plans to set a minimum age for teenagers to use it.
I want to see kids off their devices and onto the footy fields and the swimming pools and the tennis courts. We want them to have real experiences with real people, because we know that social media is causing social harm.
Australia will draw the line somewhere between 14 and 16 years old to prevent anyone younger from using social media platforms without their parents' permission.
You can see some crazy things that kids should not see on those platforms, so I think that's good.
But some experts warn the law could backfire, preventing younger kids from finding the support they need, or driving them to use social media secretly, increasing the danger.
This is a global issue that governments around the globe are trying to deal with.
More than a dozen U.S. states are pushing for legislation to protect children from online harm, including bullying. Utah requires minors under 18 to get parental consent before using platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Australia hopes to become one of the first countries in the world to set age limits after an initial trial of age verification technology. But questions remain about whether a ban will be enforceable or effective. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
In a sign of escalating concern over social media's impact, the U.S. Surgeon General recently called for putting tobacco-style warning labels on social media to warn users that the platforms can harm children's mental health. Well, the bad weather has put a damper of the 9/11 events planned in the Marianas. But the events across the nation are still set to mark 23 years since the terror attacks. The iconic Tribute in Light commemorative art installation returns for another year in Manhattan. It's viewable within a 60-mile radius around Lower Manhattan from dusk on November 11th to dawn on September 11th to dawn on September 12th. These twin beams of light, which evoke the original Twin Towers, have become an essential element of how New York City always remembers our city's resilience in the face of September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks and all those who were killed. 9/11 Memorial President and CEO Beth Hillman says, quote, with more than 100 million Americans born since 9/11 or too young to remember that tragic day, it's imperative that we inspire a new generation by sharing the unity and resilience of our collective response. Tribute in Light's twin beams reach high into the night sky to remind everyone of who and what we lost and found 23 years ago. Here at KUAM, we also honor the memory of the lives lost. Guam's 9/11 event was postponed due to bad weather. It will now be held on September 20th at Two Lovers Point. Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a view captured of the beach in Hoggett.
to soak up the savings this summer at Kmart. Since 1995, Kmart has been the ultimate summer destination for everything you need. From groceries to outdoor living to everyday fashions for the family, we've been there for you. 24 hours a day. Kmart is committed to saving you time and money by offering big international and American brands you know at prices incredibly low. Whether you're finding the perfect shade for that summer glow in our beauty care aisles, firing up your summer cookouts from top brands like Weber and Kenmore, or gearing up for those outdoor camping and beach adventures, Kmart's your one-stop shop for an active, fun-filled summer. So, join the fun and soak up the savings. You'll find everything you need and more, only at Kmart, the ultimate shopping destination in Guam, where savings, quality, and summer fun meet under one roof. Kmart, your 24-hour superstore.
Want a real taste of New York? The classic New York-style pizza offers a big, bold taste that's a Guam favorite. Handmade to perfection on a crust that's 30% larger than our large. It's just $12.99 per carryout. Classic New York-style pizza, only at your Island Pizza Hut.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Growing up is realizing that everyone who told you to eat your breakfast when you were little was actually eating this for breakfast.
It's your turn to take your place at the breakfast table and savor the taste of culinary independence with freshly toasted bagels at McDonald's. Indulge in the breakfast you've always wanted and start the day off the right way, your way. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
Make sure to register for the Living with Lupus Continuity of Care. It's a session that everybody has to get involved with, so we highly encourage you to register. Make sure to participate. This happens on September 14th from 9 to 1 at the KUAM Museum. It's an event, and it is free. You know what, everybody? It was cold today on account of the weather because we had all that rain outside, but you know what? Good old Manila is going to heat things up because the Doni Festival is back. I have a special place in my heart for Manila. I was baptized there. And the good people of the Central Village have the Doni Festival. Starts on Friday through Sunday at the night market grounds. Food trucks, crafts, live entertainment, vendors, petting zoo, carnival games, and much more. And of course, the hot pepper. A lot of that. So much to do. A shout out to everybody there in Manila. We'll see you this weekend. All right, and the Saipan Chamber of Commerce is going to see you as they are holding a third quarter professional development forum. This deals with emotional intelligence. Very, very important in all aspects of business. That's what's happening on News Bites. Glad all of you guys stayed safe. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's time now for birthday wishes.
Here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
Happy birthday on this Wednesday to Alexander Gala, who turns 50 today, the big 50. We hope you have a wonderful day. Love all of your family and friends. And Major Fresh Manabusan turning 3 months today on the 11th of September. We wish you, Alexander and Major Fresh, a very, very happy birthday.
Happy 3 months, baby Major.
Happy birthday.
Wow. We just met him, huh?
Literally, we just met him and it's already your B-Day. Happy birthday.
We're celebrating with you and all of you celebrating out there as well. Happy birthday to all of you. That's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz, and I also want to wish a special happy birthday to my papa. I love you so much. I hope you had all the tiny tacos you can eat in this world. Have a great evening.
I think there's more coming. Happy birthday, Papa.
Have a great evening and stay beautiful.
The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort, Guam.
The clock is ticking with just 54 days left until the November 5th general election, Super Tuesday. And each Wednesday, we'll be inviting your candidates running for public office onto the show to speak to you, the viewers and the voters. Tonight, we've got 4 of your mayoral candidates joining us here on the Hub. Just going down the line here, we've got Hagat mayoral candidate Mark Charfaris. His opponent, incumbent Kevin Sasuiko, was scheduled to join us, but at the last minute sends his regrets as he says he's helping with flooding concerns in the village. We also have Dededo mayoral candidate Elena Garcia, her opponent Peter Beneventi, unable to join us as well tonight, but we hope to have him on later this month. And in the village of Zotnya rules, we've got in this contested race both candidates Brian Terlahi and Debbie Lujan, the two here after incumbent Bill Kenga was unseated in the primary. So candidates, each of you will have a minute for your intros and your closing. In the question round, you will have 30 seconds to respond. We have the timers here, keeping us honest as well. So let's begin with each of you now taking a minute to tell the voters a little bit about you. And I'll let you all decide who goes first.
Go ahead, Vijay. I'll go sign that. Okay. I will go first. And basically, I am running for mayor simply because I feel that the office of mayor should not just be used for cleaning, cutting grass, and painting around the village. The office of the village mayor must seek out what is the most pressing issue there is in our village and should pursue that with every available resources at his disposal. A good example, We just mentioned here that the Agate Mayor isn't here because of the flooding. Well, we hear that every year. Every year we say we have a solution. The solution is not here. What we need to do is need to address the post office. That post office has been closed for some time. All I'm hearing is that we are sitting down with talks. We got to do more than talks. We got to commit whatever resources we have to make sure that that comes true for the people of Hogget. We must also look at enhancing our sports program. We must also look at reestablishing the community policing program. And that is just the tip of the iceberg of what I'm going to bring to Hogget.
Mark. Appreciate it. That's your time. Debbie? Your minute.
For the joint meeting?
Yes?
My personal?
Go ahead and introduce yourself to the voters.
Buenas noches, Toto Zotnia, Guahosa Debbie Preda Luhan, Gogo Zunizu, and Halamu Genogi Pamea Zotnia, that Spay and Penu, that Tulaika, that na Bonito Mona Todu, Parahita Todu ni Itato Zotnia, Gogo Hamzu Todu ni Maninahu, the Manilu, Pin Spear Mona Hafashan, Prebema, Prebemata, Vinit Gizazotnia, that Faisen Todu Hamzu, Nita Fandanya, that Alekla Todu Iman Mazulan Todu Nashana Trustees Zotnia, then Paratana, make it a better Jotnia. Let's bring Jotnia back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Elena?
Half a day, my name is Elena Garcia. I am running for mayor in Dedido. My husband is Anthony Garcia. My parents are Adela Gumatatao. Paredo is my dad, Antonio. I am running because, you know, I'm tired of seeing the way Dedido looks. We need to beautify it, but we also have to enhance our youth programs by working together with the business, the schools, and the military, also for the safe community, to also have our community working with the law enforcement and the military. And I humbly ask for your vote in Dedido. Please vote for Elena Garcia 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. BJ?
Buenas and hafade manye luhuz and manye nahu guahusi Brian BJ Terlahi malalaguzo para imaho zotnya esti mamaila na eleksyon malaguzo na be gagaw I adudun mizo esti na potin mizo na parata mamta mo na esti na hinanaw. I would like, the reason why I'm running, I have been an educator for 20 years in the Guam public school system, and I believe that we need to bring our people together, unified, through programs, through different cultural programs, so that we can better our community and better our village in a unified way. Hugagagaw I sinapotin mizu, sendangkuluna sizu usmasi.
So to each of you candidates, of course, for coming onto the show and for introducing yourself to the viewers out there and to your voters. We've got some issues, of course, as they said, to discuss. Let's get to that right after the break. This is The Hub.
The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort Guam.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort Guam.
Welcome back to The Hub, your election central, and where we are bringing all your candidates looking to lead the island to speak with you, the people. Now to the issues. Candidates As I said earlier, each of you will get 30 seconds to respond. And once your time is up, let's give the others their time. And so, Debbie, this question will start with you. What is your plan to reduce crime rates in your community, and how will you address the rise in violent crimes and burglaries affecting residents? 30 seconds.
Thank you for that question, Nick. The first thing we need to do is I'm trying to make sure that that Coben that sits there is going to be up and running. I know that the police are shortage of the police force. We can't have them all the time, of course, but to remove all of that, we need to work with the youth and see where all the problems are occurring, and make sure that we can have more police drive by our villages. Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Elena?
Thank you, Nick. What I would like to do is to keep our community safe is work with the local law enforcement and also the military. Especially we have a buildup that's coming in 2025. Some of them are here already. But, you know, I really, that's one of the things that I would like to do to keep our community safe. Have Cobens in the different areas of Dadido, you know, and to keep our people safe.
It's a big village.
It is.
Thank you for your response. BJ?
Thank you for that question, Nick. Jonia already has in place a community watch program, and I would like to continue with that program and enhance it more to have more police presence, working not only with the Guam Police Department, but also with our military sister squadron, and also to continue to build on the programs with our youth so that they can continue to be stimulated and continue to move forward so that crime rate will go down.
Okay. Mark?
Thank you for that question. Why reinvent the wheel? Chapter 77 of the Guam Code Annotated, Title 10, mandates that the Guam Police Department shall provide one police officer per shift, 24 hours and 7 days a week. From that law, it also requires that the Guam Police establish the Neighborhood Watch Program. All these programs are in place. What is missing is leadership in the village level to hold the powers that be accountable and demand that this law be enforced.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, candidates, for your responses to that question. This next question, we'll start with you, Elena. Drug abuse remains a significant issue in Guam. What specific strategies will you implement to curb drug trafficking and reduce substance abuse, particularly among our youth?
Well, the thing is, we need to have more law enforcement around in Dadido. Dadido is a big village, and without that, we cannot keep the crime down. But with this drug abuse that's going on, I mean, firsthand, you know, seeing what's going on in the schools too, they're already hitting our schools for the drug abuse. Fentanyl is here. So, you know, we have to work with the law enforcement and the military, because military, they also live out of base. And that's one thing I would like to work with them.
BJ?
Same thing. I really believe that we need to infiltrate not only within the community level, but also within our school system. I think we need to work directly with the school system, with the Department of Education, and see what programs we can create to better inform our youth and also the community in helping with the drug situation in our villages.
All right. Mark?
You know, drug abuse is a social and community issue. It is a problem that cannot be solved by the courts or law enforcement alone. We need to provide outlets for our youth to better themselves, to keep them occupied, and creating a sports program, an academic program as well after school. We need to engage the youth of this island to take their attention away from drugs and assist those that are in need in the home front, whatever resources they need to accomplish this. So we must work one village, one family.
Thank you, Mark. Debbie, drug abuse remains a significant issue in Guam. What specific strategies will you implement to curb drug trafficking and reduce substance abuse, particularly among our youth?
First of all, Nick, thank you for that question again. The first thing we need to do with our youth is keep them busy, get them to be more into the sports, bring that baseball field back up and running, our gymnasium, maybe create another kind of sports. As long as you can keep these kids within reach of other children and family members, they may just be too busy to be doing anything else besides having to go to their games and having to do their sports. So keep them busy and have an after-school program of some kind.
All right, candidates, thank you all so much for your responses to that question. Let's get to another question before we take another break. And this one is over to you, BJ. On a related note to what we just discussed, how do you plan to improve the relationship with law enforcement and the community? Will you advocate for additional resources, training, and staffing for the local police department to enhance public safety?
Well, you can always train. There's always going to be programs and opportunities for us to train. But if the community and the community in any village and the Department of the Guam Police Department are not working hand in hand, then I don't think that these programs they'll cease to exist. So what we need to do is we need to bring them together through programs new programs that will help and enhance the unified community together.
All right, thank you. Mark?
You know, this question about how we can integrate with the Guam Police Department has been asked and answered for many years, and many laws have been passed to accommodate this. Like I mentioned earlier, the Guam Police Department has shifted from traditional policing to community neighborhood watch programs. What needs to be done is leadership at the mayor's office to get together with the powers that be and demand that these laws that call for unification of resources down to the village so that we can fight crime must be enhanced and pushed.
Debbie?
On that case, Nick, I would think that the Cobins that are trying to be built in other villages, I do have one in my village and it's not up and running. Hopefully that when that thing goes up and running, the crimes in our villages, because it did, when we had that up and running, the crimes are really low. So that Cobin's got to come up. That Cobin's got to come back to every village. To every village, that should deter more crimes that is going on within the village. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. Elena?
Okay, for me, what I would do is work with the senators and the governor to have more police in our village. Dedido is a very big village. And, you know, working with the community, also enhancing having them to train and know, you know, get the resources for them. But that's what I would importantly do, is work with the law enforcement and the military. So maybe we can work together.
Okay. Thank you, candidates, all for those responses. And hopefully we can push for a safer island, because the people, they need it. They deserve it. And we've got more questions, of course, for this group of your mayoral candidates. When we return, this is The Hub.
The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort Guam.
Introducing GTA Fiber. We're bringing our fiber connection from the neighborhood all the way to your home. Now you can get lightning fast speed of up to 1 gig and take your streaming, downloading, or gaming to the next level. Plus, you get our next-gen Plume Wi-Fi, so you can experience all that speed throughout your home, built on Guam's most reliable network. Visit gta.net to see if fiber is available in your area. GTA Fiber. Nothing beats fiber.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort Guam.
Welcome back to The Hub. We are speaking with 4 of your mayoral candidates on the general election ballot. Back to the issues. Candidates, again, you each get 30 seconds to respond, and Mark, will start off with you for this question. What initiatives will you support to engage at-risk youth and prevent them from turning to a life of crime, particularly in areas where crime rates are higher in your village?
Well, it's like the mayor has to work with a lot of nonprofit organizations that are out there, because we've already have a few of those organizations that are federally funded and locally funded to address those issues. What is lacking at the village level is the introduction of these programs down into the village level and allowing the community to know of these programs and to participate in these programs. Well, the job of the mayor is to find out if these programs are effective, and if they're not effective, to find ways to make it more effective. And that's what I would like to do. The programs are there. We just need leadership to push it.
Okay. Debbie?
Thank you for that question again, Nick. And Mr. Chalkers was really, truly right about all of those answers. We got to keep the kids with programs. We need to add more programs to our village, make sure that we get involved with other nonprofits to support us, to make sure that the kids have other programs that they can get involved with, and have them after school, to come down and maybe a community center and have them, keep them busy to get their school going, to get their homeworks going.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Elena?
Okay. For me, I agree with Chapfras and Debbie, because, those programs are out there, but we do need more after-school programs. But I want to do an after-school program with the business, the military, and the schools, but also to make it something that they're interested in, not something we're interested in. Because if they're not interested, they won't do it. And I believe that's how we can keep them busy.
Okay. BJ?
I think personally, venues like the baseball field and the gym, if there's no programs that enhance these particular venues, then they shouldn't cease to exist. What I believe is we should go into the school system and talk to the educators, because they are at the forefront of our youth, and see what programs work. If these programs do not work, we need to move forward and find other programs that will help and enhance our students, to keep them busy and to keep them occupied.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, candidates, for that response. This next question, we'll start with you, Debbie. How will you support families who are struggling with poverty, unemployment, or even domestic violence? And what resources or programs will you introduce to strengthen families in your village?
I've been trying to work with the pantry, for one, get a pantry going in our mayorals in our village. The VARO, the victim of, make sure that there's, someone that can come up to our village and talk to these people that are abused families, the children and parents, not just the wife, but even the children. Just get involved with a lot of the programs that's out there, Nick. There's everything out there for us. We just have to learn how to ask.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Elena?
I would like to, there's so many programs out there, but what is it that we're lacking where we can't reach to the source of how did they become there? But I would like to work with KUAM Behavioral and have them come out and work with us so that we can work with the community, with those that have problems, those that were abused. And that's what I would do.
Thank you. BJ?
I think that there, like my fellow candidates said, that there are programs out there. I think that we just need to empower our people to go after these particular programs. I think we also need to work with the Guam Community College and also with the University of Guam to provide GED programs, so that the adults in these communities can also take initiative to better their lives and to find jobs that will help them and spruce them up for a better opportunity.
All right, thank you. Mark?
The breakdown of the families on Guam through the years have deteriorated significantly, that I'm even afraid of it. And the reason why I say that was 20, 30 years ago, homelessness was something that people from other islands or from other places who come here are the homeless people. Now we're noticing generations upon generations of our own people that are being homeless. We need, as the mayor, needs to start identifying these issues within the villages, go out there and find what programs are available, facilitate the incorporation of those programs, and to look for more programs if we're short. That is the job of the mayor.
Thank you, Mark. All right, so this next question, we're starting with you, Elena. Public spaces and infrastructure often play a role in community safety. What are your plans for improving or maintaining maybe the parks, the roads, and public facilities to create a safer and more vibrant neighborhood?
I would like to, fix all the parks that are there at Dedido. There are basketball courts that are not even being used. There's a park where you used to have a basketball court, which is on Gora 501. Beautiful park, but it was destroyed, so I would like to reconstruct that. But, having all this would, help our young youths to stay out of trouble also. And that's what I really would like to do.
BJ?
Well, Jotnia has many beautiful places that our youth and our community can feel occupied. However, there are for me, my capital plan is to enhance the baseball field, the gymnasium, and also one of the most beautiful places in Jotnia is Tagacheng Beach. I would love to create a cultural area where our elders can provide apprenticeship programs for our youth to learn our culture and our language.
Okay. Mark?
Public places in our village, we should work together with, like, for example, the Agate Gym. The Agate Gym across the street is Mount Carmel Catholic School. If they want to utilize this, and I've been discussing this with that school, is that we should have a sharing program with the school to allow them to use the gym and at the same time assist in the maintenance of that gym. There are also private corporations that are out there that are willing to adopt facilities and provide the resources that we need. So that's part of the job of the Agate Mayor, is to ensure that these facilities are supported by either public or a partnership program with all the stakeholders in Hagen.
Thank you, Mark. Debbie?
Actually, all the parks, all the baseball fields, we have 3 of them, Nick. We have 3 baseball fields and not one of them are running. And so that's the first and foremost, that I would like to work on to get those kids back in the field. Basketballs, maybe a soccer team, and other recreational areas and the parks. That's what I would like to enhance.
We got to keep them active. Thank you so much, candidates, for all your responses to those questions in this round. We've got one more round to close off the episode of The Hub. Keep it here.
The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort Guam.
Sometimes, life takes us down roads we never expected. Roads filled with doubts, fears, and struggles. But these roads also lead to discovery, healing, and hope. On this journey, we find our way back to ourselves. The road back to you begins with one step, and continues with every step forward.
The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort Guam.
Welcome back to The Hub. We want to thank our 4 mayoral candidates for joining us here on this episode of The Hub. Candidates, again, each of you will get 30 seconds to respond to this next question. So I think, BJ, you're up next. Guam faces unique challenges with natural disasters and environmental safety. We experienced one just this morning, and we're still feeling the winds and rains as we speak. How do you plan to strengthen the island's preparedness for typhoons, earthquakes, and other potential environmental hazards to ensure the safety of your residents?
Well, first of all, I think the mayor the mayor needs to be there. The mayor needs to be present. The mayor needs to be there for his community or her community, and make sure that our people are comfortable and make sure our people are safe. He may not have the answers, or she may not have the answers for everything, but the mayor should be that bridge to find the answers and to get the help for our community.
Thank you. Mark?
Here we go again. These issues has been discussed years and years and years upon natural disaster. We created the GERP, the Guam Emergency Response Plan. And it appears that every time we create that, they forget it and they put it on the shelf, And things happen that they now says, oh man, what are we going to do in this situation? The GRIP should be constantly being reviewed. It should constantly being updated so that if there's a flooding problem in Agat, we know how to respond to it. Should there be an issue of a landslide in Zotnia, we know how to respond to it.
Thank you, Mark. That's your time. Appreciate
Thank
it. Debbie?
Actually, Nick, all we need to do is actually get with that Latin guy and get all the information prior to all this disasters that's coming up with us. Be present, be alert with all the issues that are being sent out, and make sure that you're on top of all the typhoons or earthquakes or anything that's coming our way. They need to know it prior to. So just be there in the village and be there for your people. Let them know. Announce it out. Thank you.
Okay. I think you were talking about the Guam National Weather Service, right?
Yeah.
Landon Idlet. Took a while for me to register, but thank you for that response. Elena?
I would work with the National Guam Weather Service, but I would also for our community. But I will make sure that I am there physically with them, help them get the resources, find the resources if need to help our community, to keep them safe and, get them places where they need to go, especially our homeless.
Yep. All right, candidates, thank you again so much for your responses to the questions here on the Hub. Now it's your time each to shine. Each of you get a minute to speak to the voters. Get them to come out and exercise their right to vote and decide as well. And for this, we'll start with you. Mark, 60 seconds. You can look right into the camera there where Pete Anderson is facing it.
Thank you. It's time for a change. We are tired of every election year. Everyone is saying we're going to promise to enhance this for our people, whether it's in the village or island-wide. Hold me accountable. I've got my platform out there. I've taken positions in the past, and I'm never afraid to take on any object, any person, any entity, if I believe that it's in the right cause. And the right cause right now is to make Agat first, is to make Agat number one again. Give me that opportunity, and I shall deliver to you in my term as your mayor what we need to make our island, our village great again.
Thank you, Mark. Debbie, 60 seconds to you, and you can look right into that camera there.
Thank you again there, Nick. I am Debbie Prado-Lujan. I am running for your Jotnia mayor. I am under a Republican banner. I am a daughter of an honorary woman, Vicenta Chagla Prado. She fondly known as CB Betty. I have my husband, my previous husband now, Joe Lujan. He's one of my biggest fans, and my children. We have 3 children, 14 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. I share that with my late husband, Paul Izama Tenorio of Jotnia, also from the Tenorio Tortilla Factory. We have those children together, and with my husband Joe now, my previous husband, he's the biggest fan for me to help me clean out Jotnia, remove all those junkyards, and hopefully that I'll keep Jotnia clean.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you. Please vote for me.
Thank you. Elena, 60 seconds.
Hafide, my name is Elena Paredo Garcia. My husband's Anthony Garcia. My mom is Adela Diaz Gamatata. My father is Antonio Mendiola Paredo. What I would like to do is keep our community safe and clean, with a clean environment. Please give me that chance. I will make sure that we will keep Dedado safe, and we will also find programs for after school and keeping our community together. But most of all, we also have to support our veterans and our seniors. And that's what I would do. Thank you. Please vote for me.
Thank you. BJ, 60 seconds.
Buenas den Hafide Ta'lu. My name is Brian BJ Terlahi, Familian Talka, the Terlahi family from Pulanta, Zotnia, and Familian Kokura, the Cepeda family from Kamwitig, Zotnia. I humbly ask for your support. I have been an educator for 20 years in the Guam public school system, and also a renowned Fafat Nagui, keeping the Chamorro and language and culture alive in the beautiful village of Jotnia and around the world. My platform is to provide opportunities to give our children the opportunity to be a part of our legacy as the Chamorro people, to be a part of to enhance our culture, and to work with our elders to keep their legacy alive, to work with our veterans, to also honor and give them the dignity that they deserve, but also to unify and empower our people to come together as one Zotnya. Hita tana la'la, honesty, integrity, trust, and accountability. Rise up Zotnya, sen dongkulu na sizu usmasi.
Thank you, BJ. Thank you, Elena. Debbie, thank you. Mark, thank you as well. All so much for coming here today to speak with the voters. We've got more of your mayoral candidates, the senatorial candidates, and yes, the candidates for Guam delegates set to answer some questions for you as well ahead of the November 5th general election. That's going to do it for us here on The Hub. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.